What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. In today's video we are talking about the iPhone 11 and my experience with this phone after using it for almost 2 months. So every year I buy the latest iPhone, but most iPhones are very average. They have very average cameras, they have very average battery life, and they're just boring. Well, this hasn't been the case with the iPhone 11. And after using this for almost 2 months, well, I kind of prefer this phone over a lot of other phones like the Samsung Galaxy S10, the P30 Pro, and much more. So first of all, the cameras on this phone are not average anymore, because before this phone most iPhones had very average cameras. Now I have to say that the cameras on the back of the iPhone 11 are some of the best cameras available on any mobile device. And I've actually done a bunch of camera comparisons between this phone, the S10, the P30 Pro, the Pixel 4 and much more. And there will be some links in the video description just in case you wanna check any of those out. Aside from that, this phone gets amazing battery life, so I can go for almost 2 days on one charge. Well, it depends how I use the phone, but I can usually get 2 days on one charge. Once again, something that doesn't happen with a lot of other phones. So let's take a quick break and I'll be right back. Today's video was brought to you by Backblaze. Backblaze is a world leader in computer backup and cloud storage. They offer unlimited backups for Mac and PCs for $6 a month or $60 a year or $110 for 2 years. Using Backblaze is super simple. You just have to install it on your computer and it does everything by itself. A very cool feature that I found is the version history, which allows you to recover accidentally changed or deleted data from 1 year or longer ago. You can also access all your files through the mobile Backblaze app available on iOS and Android. So far, Backblaze restored over 45 billion files and backed up over 800 petabytes of data. Restoring your files can be done by downloading them or through a physical flash key or hard drive that gets mailed to you. If you buy a hard drive restore, you can return the hard drive after you restore your data within 30 days for a full refund. Check out Backblaze through the link in the video's description. Alright, and going back to the iPhone, this is in fact one of the cheapest flagships out there. So you can buy this phone for $699, and that is cheaper than the S10, cheaper than the Pixel 4, cheaper than the Huawei Mate 30 Pro, and so on. But this is in fact one of the most powerful flagships out there. So if you ever have to edit a video on this phone, the phone can definitely do it. If you want to play games on it, no problems with that either. And the only thing that's holding the phone back, it's the poor RAM management. So I've noticed that some apps have to reload. And iOS, because iOS isn't the greatest operating system in my opinion. And just to give you a couple of examples, you cannot select a default browser. So if you like using Chrome or if you like using Firefox, well, you cannot use that as the default browser. So if you're using Twitter and then you press on a link from Twitter, but you usually use Chrome, then Safari is gonna open with your link and all of a sudden you have two browsers open. So if you ask me, that's just plain stupid. Another thing, for example, let's say that you are scrolling the picture gallery and you find a picture that you took on a year ago and you're like, I should definitely edit this picture. But you don't want to edit the picture with a built-in editor, you want to edit that picture using Snapseed. Well, you can't just open Snapseed from the gallery. So what you have to do, you have to exit the gallery app, you have to open Snapseed, and then you have to look for that picture once again. So things that could have been much easier to do basically. Now, luckily iOS is slowly improving. I mean, every year we get something that gets better. So for example, now in the camera app, you can actually select, change the resolution for a video recording. Something that we were able to do about 10 years ago on Android basically, but still an improvement for iOS. But don't take me the wrong way, there are a lot of other great things about this phone that make me want to use it more. So first of all, the face unlocking. The face unlocking works better than any other phone out there. So you just have to look at the phone and then the phone is basically unlocked. So that works amazing, and I rarely have to actually punch in my passcode, something that doesn't actually happen with a lot of Android devices. So the face unlocking on this phone is amazing. Another thing that's amazing are the speakers. So these are probably the best speakers that I've heard on any phone. And once again, there are a lot of Android phones that have dual speakers, but I feel that this one sounds better. Now, unfortunately, with those awesome speakers, we get this screen. And if you've ever used an AMOLED screen, whenever you're going to this phone and using this screen, Yeah, this screen doesn't look that great. I mean, if you're coming from an iPhone 8, yes, the screen will look great. The screen is actually better than the screen on the iPhone XR. But if you're coming from an AMOLED screen, you should probably invest and try to get the iPhone Pro Max or something like that, because the screen on those are much better than this one. So the screen on the iPhone 11 is just a bad joke in my opinion. Another thing that brings me back to this phone all the time are the cases available for it. I know this is gonna sound funny, but there seem to be so many cases available for iPhones when compared to all the other Android devices. Or maybe it's just me, but you can get all these awesome leather cases for them that just feel and look so good. And I know it sounds a bit funny. Talking about the Apple ecosystem, I know if you watch any other review, everybody's gonna talk about the Apple ecosystem, how it's the best thing in the world. Honestly, I don't use iMessage, I don't use anything except for AirDrop, and realistically you can replace AirDrop with Google Drive or something like that. So the Apple ecosystem is definitely not something that brings me back to this phone. So to quickly conclude this video, the iPhone 11 is a great phone and a phone that I can actually use as my day-to-day phone. It may not be the best phone out there, and if you want the best phone out there, you're probably gonna have to spend more money and get yourself something better, something with a better screen. But for me, the iPhone 11 is a phone that I can actually use as my day-to-day phone, and for a few reasons. First of all, it is affordable, so I only had to spend $700 on it versus like $1,200 or $1,400 for other devices, and that was important to me. It has some of the best cameras out there, and I'm mostly using the cameras for video recordings, and I've actually done some videos just filmed with this, and I'm sure that you don't even know when I use this or my Sony a6400. So that's definitely another important thing for me. And then the battery life. The phone lasts an entire day no matter how much I actually use it. I usually end up the day with about 50%, and then I charge it overnight. Unfortunately, even with a fast charger, so I had to buy myself a fast charger for it, but even with a fast charger it takes about an hour and 45 minutes to charge from 0 to 100. And if you used other phones like the Huawei P30 Pro or a OnePlus device, well, you know that those charge in like 40 minutes. So this one, even though it supports fast charging, it's actually charging pretty slow. But for me, for the price and for everything that it offers, it is a great phone, and I will probably be using this for the near future as well. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, don't forget to press that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.